Actually, it's good morning and welcome back to Allergic to Stupidity. Yes, I'm one of those annoyingly bubbly people. As some of my clients have observed, you're a morning person. Yeah, I am. But it's really great when you get an 8 o'clock in the morning class to teach. And you get the kids all waking up going, ugh. But it's okay. That's who I am. I did miss last night because I had so many things I wanted to chit chat about on that evening's video. I couldn't figure out which one I really want to talk about. We could go and scream and yell with everything that's going on in the world and everything else. We could scream about Trump. We could scream about the world politics. There's so much we could scream about that I'm going, this is stupid, especially when Trump wants to annex Canada and take over Greenland and the Panama Canal. It's like, okay. So then I was watching one of my shorts that comes through. He's a gentleman out of California. That much I do know. Can't remember if it's LA. I think it is. That for some reason he said, I just woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, really having to go to the bathroom. So he went to the bathroom, glanced out his window, and he could see in the house behind him, it was on fire. So he grabbed his phone, dialed 911, and ran out in his sock feet. And he said, I literally, as I was running, I'm telling the guys on 911, this is the street. Okay, here's the house. This is the night, the number, etc., etc. He pounded on the door, and he saved the people that were in the house because he caught the fire so quickly. The end of his video was, and this is where my chit-chat's going, is the firefighters commented to him that they will talk to people to see what was going on, and a lot of people will go, oh yeah, I saw it burning. Well, that didn't solve anything, did it? And the firefighter told this YouTuber that it's called the bystander effect, where you sit and you look and you go, oh yeah, that's interesting, but you don't do anything about it. It's somebody else's problem. So for me, the raccoon. Remember a few videos ago I was talking about the silly raccoon deciding to waddle down the middle of the main street in my city going, okay, that's not going to. Well, I even said in the video, I should have damn well put my car in park and got out and shooed the little raccoon away. By the way, I never did see if he had a dead body on the side of the road, so I'm assuming he decided to go back into the bushland. But it's called the bystander effect. And we all get wrapped up, not the best coffee I've made, we all get wrapped up in our daily, day-by-day lives that we go, that's somebody else's problem. And I find that since COVID and the lockdowns and everything else, where we can just order things online and we don't have to interact with other people, that bystander effect is getting more and more in effect. And then we're complaining because big corporations are taking over. And, well, they already were. But we're reinforcing it by buying things through Amazon. Right? And buying everything through Instant, because then I don't have to deal with other people. And I can sit back and say it's somebody else's problem. So, on that line of the economy, because we all know the economy is shits, and it's not going to improve. Not with somebody down south rattling the cages. He's even got his dear old friend Putin upset at him right now, which I think that takes a lot. What we can do as the individuals, because that's always my push, is what can we as the individuals do? I can not buy from Nestle because I can't stand Nestle because it's got ethical issues. So I don't buy from them. That's one way I can make a difference. But I really can't, unless I go completely off grid, I can't get away from using in Canada, Ontario Hydro, because they're the suppliers, right? But I can do little things. And one of the little things you can do, and if any of you are entrepreneurs, you'll support this idea, is support your local small businesses. Because as the economy goes, the first businesses that are going to crash are the little ones, because they have less safety nets to fall back on. So big corporations like Canadian Tire or Hudson Bay, yes, they are Canadian, 100%, but they sell products from other countries. So yes, I support my Canadian Tire. It's franchised, it's owned by a local guy, but I'm realistic. I know that when I go in, most of what I'm buying at Canadian Tire is not made in Canada. Okay? So mine would be to help the economy and keep these little entrepreneurs or the little Canadian companies going is to buy from them. So one of them, and I said it before, is True Earth. It is there's laundry soap, there's all-purpose cleaners, there's 2 or 3, but A, head office is in Canada, B, it's manufactured in Canada, so it's 100% Canadian products, and the topper is, from the environmentalist, it doesn't have to travel as far. I've had to get, because I couldn't find my True Earth laundry soap, I had to get something that was, yes, it was a Canadian company, but it was made in China. So it had to be shipped from China to Vancouver, and then from Vancouver to my local store. So here is one of them. And it was, one of my clients gave it to me. I am going to put the link in the description. But it's called Here Ward, and it's a lavender company. Farm to skin, we grow, we make, we love it. And it's just that way. But I can order it online if I want. And what the client gave me was basically a hand soap, which this I will use. I'll be honest, I'm not sure I'm going to use this. This is just like a scent. And I'm not a great one for scents. Because I do have a couple people in my house that they're not quite hypersensitive to smell, but sometimes if it gets to be too strong a smell, you can tell they're just uncomfortable. So I'm very aware of that in my house. But this is just lavender scent, and then incense sticks, which lavender is supposed to be very relaxing. So I was thinking what I've wanted to do for a while is find some way to support and encourage Canadian entrepreneurs. And I'm thinking, how can I do that? I'm just a little person in the middle of Timbuktu, actually somewhere in the middle of Ontario, to be more precise. And I went, I don't want to be the bystander effect person that just sits back and goes, this is somebody else's problem. This doesn't have to be somebody else's problem. This can be my problem. And I can do that thing I've been wanting to do, which is to help spread the word about Canadian small businesses. Now, please understand, 100% Canadian. Now, like I point out in Canadian Tire, because yes, it's owned by a Canadian and it's a Canadian corporation, but everything that comes in is... So the more it gets to be 100% Canadian, the better. Now, I'm going to laugh. Or actually, I think her bag is a little more. There it is. That shows up better. Having lived in England, that is such a British name. And the lady's British. I was like, okay. She's lived here for years and years and years. But it was like, yeah, okay. Giveaway on that one, at least from my perspective. So, this is what I'm suggesting. The comments are now opened on this channel. Please keep them polite. I have said when I started this channel that these things are my opinions. So, you might not like my opinions. That's your choice. But please do not get abusive on it, even if it's politely abusive, like passive-aggressive, going, oh, no, you're wrong. This and this and this and this. No, I don't want to hear any of that. And if that starts, I'll do what the CBC did. Turn off the comments again. But if you know of a website, or if you know of a company, a local entrepreneur that you would like to spread the news about, that I can put on this channel of Allergic to Stupidity, that helps spread the news, that's exactly what I want to do. Okay? It won't happen every day. It's just going to happen whenever I find one. So, this one, and like I said, I'll put this in the link in the descriptions, but this one is Here Ward, and I'm going to put my glasses on and hope to God I pronounce it right. It's in East Garafaxia, Ontario. That's somewhere in southern Ontario. Maybe it's pushing southwestern Ontario. I have never heard of that town. So it's obviously a township. But anyways, like I said, I will put this on. There you go. So, short and curlies of today's is, let's not be bystanders. Let's not just watch the world go by and go, that's somebody else's problem. Because it's our problem. No matter if we're this big or we're this big. It is still everybody's problem. So if you're getting your little person to pick up the garbage and making sure everything goes in the recycling as much as something can be recycled, then they are not bystanders. They are a part of the solution. And we all need to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. And if you don't do anything about it, then you're part of the problem. So those people who don't go out and vote, while yes, they may not complain about the politicians, they are now part of the problem because they didn't vote. And we can see that that's what happened in the U.S. because so many people didn't vote because they were so sure Harris was going to get in that they didn't bother to vote, that the MAGA people got in and voted. And we now have Trump. And people might say, well, that's the American problem. No, it is not. It is a world problem because he's sitting here screaming that he's going to annex Canada. LOL on that one. He said he'll do it with economic pressure. Okay, which he loves his terrorists. He has said he would not rule out military to take over Greenland, which is a sovereign country, and as part of it's Dutch. I'm sorry. And Panama Canal, he said, well, that was stupid. We shouldn't have given it up. Well, it doesn't matter if you like it or not, and that goes back to Ronald Reagan because Ronald Reagan said the same thing. And he hasn't ruled out doing military control on that one too. So are we going to sit here and be bystanders and just go, well, that's not my problem, I can't do anything about it? Or are we going to get our butts in gear and go do something about it, no matter what the problem is? Right? Simple as that. We need to stand up and make a difference. I do have to give him credit, though. This is one I've had a giggle smile for all of him saying annexing Canada. And Trudeau came off and said, snowball's chance in hell. Elizabeth May had a wonderful response. Well, you know what? We got an offer for you. Since you're thinking business, how about if we just take California, Oregon, and Washington State? And what would I do? We'll take Bernie Sanders, too. That, Vermont. We'll take those states. They can all become provinces of Canada. She had a wonderful... For somebody who is like a leader of a very, very, very small party, she had a wonderful response. So, I mean, left, right, and center, there's memes coming out. There's short videos coming out. Everybody telling Trump where to take his annexing Canada. So it's nice to see in his bluster and his screaming and his yelling and all the rest of it. He's letting that little Canadian pride that's in all of us come back to the top, which is great. So short and curlies of today's video. Guys, let's not be the bystanders. Let's get out there and make a difference. So, in the comments, any entrepreneur that's 100% Canadian, and that does not include Avon representatives, that does not include Tupperware representatives, though that business is going bankrupt. Entrepreneurs that are truly 100% Canadian. Okay, and the reason I say not Avon because it's based out of the U.S. or it's based out of wherever. Last time I called my Tupperware lady, I ended up in Mexico. Don't ask. Okay, so there we go. There's the idea. Take care. Now remember, if you're enjoying the videos, to like, share, and subscribe. And especially with this new idea of what I want to do, make sure you share so other people can know and they can send to me through comments any small entrepreneur businesses that they would like to promote and encourage. But remember, I've said it 5 times now, Canadian 100%. Okay? Take care. Have a good day.